Good. Yup. Yup. What's good, everybody? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined by my co-host, my bro, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here tonight. And for that, we thank you. And for always, we got a jam-packed show, and we're gonna get right into it.
Already know how we do. We appreciate y'all each and every show. As always, make sure y'all tap into the links in the bio membership portion of the page. Different memberships, different access. So make sure y'all tap in. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just a little over 11,000 subscribers. So make sure y'all continue to like, subscribe, and share. We love. We talk about everything on this podcast. And we love giving y'all that great energy, that great information that we give y'all each and every episode. So again, thank you for your support. It's invaluable. Also, make sure y'all tap into the merchandise links in the bio. Links in the bio. Make sure y'all tap in. Also, thank you to the presenting sponsor of our podcast, Button Snaps. Uh, Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, and documentary for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. You already know first hot topic. First popular opinion of the night. I remember, y'all, this is the world's questions. These are not our questions. So stick to the answers in the questions because y'all love giving them answers that don't even be in the question. So, y'all be killing me with that. All right, y'all. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where you get the label model is create, document, and inspire. Make sure you go to Instagram right now at OUV Records, and again, stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. All right, y'all. First popular opinion question of the night. Which would be a better remake movie? Which would better be this better remix movie? Which would be a better remix movie? Number one, hold up. Before I start, shout out to the chat. The chat. My bad. The chat. We got day ones. We got bad chokers in the building. I'm bugging out, y'all. Shout out to Treatment. Shout out to Culture. Shout out to Shay. I was watching what Strangers Do. Oh, all right. Appreciate you. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to King P, man. And Winter. Shout out to Winter. So again, thank y'all, man. That's dope. She's watching What Strangers Do. All right. Which would be a better remix movie? Which would be a better remix movie? Number one, Juice as a horror. Number two, Boys in the Hood as a comedy. Number three, Coming to America as a gangster film. Number four, Higher Learning as a crime murder film. Again, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, the question is which will be a better remix movie? A better remix movie, y'all. All right. You need to hear that group again, bro, or you know who you going with.
None of them. Leave our classics alone. Don't remix none of our classics. Leave our classics alone. Create your own new shit. Create new genre. Create new characters. Create new everything. Leave our classics alone. So that's my answer.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with me personally. I'm gonna go with Juice as a horror film because that's what the question is asking the question. So we can't leave out no questions unanswered here. So the question is, which would be a better movie as a remake? And again, I'm going with Juice as the movie. So I'm going with Juice. The rest of the world at 46% went with Juice as a horror. I already know what you think about that. Okay. Anything you want to add to that?
Classics alone.
Okay. Not even for the sake of just answering the question. All right. All right. So moving on to our next popular opinion question. Most games with 100 yards rushing plus. Most games with 100 yards rushing plus. Number one, Nathaniel Tomlinson. Number two, Emmitt Smith. Number three, Barry Sanders. Number four, Adrian Peterson.
With 100 yards or more rushing.
Mm-hmm.
With Adrian Peterson. It's a
AP.
tough list, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go with Adrian.
Why AP?
I just feel he had more rushing yards than everybody else on the list.
Me personally, bro went with AP. Me personally, I'm also gonna go with AP. I just think that AP was AP. He played a gazillion years on top of that, and all his games look easy when I watch them play. I mean, all these running backs on here is top tier. They're all Hall of Famers. If anybody says otherwise, oh, this person's not that good at, get out of here. We're talking about top tier running backs here. So I'm going to go with AP. My bro went with AP. The rest of the world at 34% also went with Adrian Peterson. What do you think about that?
To know if he really had more rushing yards, because this is popular opinions, but we could look this up.
Right. Again, this is all opinion based because the perception, right? So, but he didn't have the most rushing. He didn't have the most games with uh with 100 yards rushing plus. So the person that had the most yards was Emmett. Emmett had 78. Uh, Barry Sanders was second, which he had 76. So AP was all the way like at 56. Yeah.
Games with 100 or more rushing yards. You see how difficult that is. It's not easy.
Emmett. Hmm. Shout out to Biggs in the building. Thank you for tapping in. My bro Biggs tapping in, man. Appreciate you tapping in. You already know, hit that like, 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 hit them 100s in the chat, y'all. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Highest paid jobs in 2025 on this list. Highest paid jobs in 2025 on this list. Number one, data scientist. Data scientist, sorry. Data scientist. Number two, corporate lawyer. Number three, pro athlete. Number four, petroleum engineer.
What was the first one again?
Data scientist. They saying we freezing up. Are we still freezing up? Let us know what y'all thinking. Let us know in the chat. Are we still freezing up? Actually, pays good. Archery pays good, but not the best. Life left a like because I support. Shout out to Warrior. He's being very weird in the chat. You're going to get some special tickets to the block party. We not that type of podcast where you pull up and give us that type of energy. We don't do that here. Don't be weird. Please don't be weird. I would give you some tickets to the block party if you're begging for them, but don't be weird here, bro. We don't build the show for trolling, bro.
I'm gonna have to go with NBA player because of the short season starts from October, and if you make it to the playoffs until June, and you're not really working the rest of the year, and you have the potential to make millions in a short amount of time working. So I'm gonna go with NBA player.
Pro athlete.
Oh, pro athlete, yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So we got pro athlete. Me personally, I'm gonna go with corporate lawyer. I would think that corporate lawyers. I maybe this is just a movie based question for me, but when I watch the Devil's Advocate and movies like that, they was getting paid all types of bread, cash under the table. They got houses, they got apartments, they had a whole just fly stuff going on as a corporate lawyer. So I'm gonna say corporate lawyer. My bro went with pro athlete. Um, the rest of the world at 44% went with pro athlete. What do you think about that?
Sounds about right. It's what they push in society. The ones that they talk about their contracts and how much they get in the most. So it makes amount of makes amount the most amount of sense.
Yeah, again, that's the perception, but it really is data scientist makes the most money in 2025 on this list. So, again, y'all, this is just what the opinion is, but the actual factual is that the data scientist is first, pro athlete is second, petroleum engineer is third, and the corporate lawyer is actually fourth. So those are the highest paid jobs on this list in 2025. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Came up with this segment because Hollywood has been giving us a lot of trash movies, and worst off, been giving us horrible ideas within the movies. I will say, I'm not going to lie, within the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing some amazing trailers for some interesting movies, but we're talking about 1 week out of the whole year. All right, this is not a regular base thing. So me and my bro, we got better ideas for movies and series. You want to start this one off? All right. So my Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I want to see a part two of a OG classic, Varsity Blues. We need a football movie. Where's the football movies? Well, we got a movie with Jordan Peele. I mean, yeah, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. No, Jordan Peele, right? Jordan Peele. We got a new movie with Jordan Peele and Marlon Wayans coming out that reference football player, but I don't know if it's going to be a football movie because it's horror. You get what I'm saying? So I want to see a pure football movie for the pure football movie aspect, where it's like the against all odds. They got to build up. They got to lose. They got to build to bring up, and the coach, the players, everybody has to be bought in. I would love to see a Varsity Blues too. Everybody's still alive except R.I.P. to the Christopher Walker. Paul Walker. I don't know why I said Christopher Walker, but Paul Walker, he played Lance. And I think the character will go great based on the fact that he passed away in real life and that he actually took over the coaching duties at the end. Moxon could come back to take over the coaching duties, on the team. And just so happens when he make it to the championship, who comes back into coaching? Their old coach want to make one more run at this thing, and he like they did. They did. You know what I'm saying? So, he pulling up to the old stadium like this. The flashbacks of his statue, all the championships, 23 district titles. You know what I'm saying that he was responsible for. So I think it will be a fire part two to add that aspect of it.
Don't have that play Lance on the sweep.
Yeah, yo, for real. You know what I'm saying?
You know how many rushing touches I got? 3. Every time we get to the goal line, now he want to do Lance on the sweep.
My mom's been doing my recruiting. You know what I'm saying? Got Grambling coming to see me. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna
Not
be all at the dinner table.
not Texas Tech, cause they was in Texas. Not Texas Tech, not Texas A&M. Got Grambling. We out here. So I would love to see that, and I would love for them to bring back the older characters. Tweeter, I forget the brother that was in that. He was funny. You had the heavy set white guy that played Billy Bob. So all the Arlie Lauder, I think her name is. She's still looking good and out here vibrant. I think it would be a dope part two for them to finally do. So I want to see a Varsity Blues part two and put some money in it. Don't make it cheesy where it just go because you know how the Blue Hill Mountains, that whatever it's called, it just look wild. I want to see actual film for this movie.
Like the Parkers, the Hughleys, Moesha, Homeboys in Outer Space, One on One, Girlfriends, Pepper Ann, Half and Half, Sister Sister, Cuts, Kevin Hill, Guys Like Us, All of Us, Eve, In the House, Malcolm and Eddie, and just to name a few. Now, majority of these shows were predominantly black, had a black cast, black star, executive producers were black, so majority of these shows were catered to black people. And then when these shows started getting ratings and the UPN network was boosting and became a well-known network, they went ahead and changed their name and became the CW all of a sudden. And they moved away from all these black programs that we all love to now these cookie cutter, uh, almost like weird shows. So I want to see the documentary about how all these shows, and we can talk to a majority of these actors and actresses that played on these shows, especially Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played on Malcolm and Eddie. And we'd like to know why the majority of these shows did not get a series finale. What was their take as to why their shows weren't picked up on syndication? What's their how do they feel about their shows not getting the proper just do that they deserve, because a lot of these shows were top tier shows. Girlfriends was a top tier show. In the House, I love that show. Malcolm and Eddie, I thought was hilarious. Homeboys in Our Space was dumb funny. You know what I'm saying? I love that show. The Parkers was another classic. So I feel as though a lot of these actresses and actors did not get their just due from acting in all these shows, and I feel UPN deserves needs to give them more credit for what they have done for this network. So I'd love to see a documentary about what happened to UPN.
And Homeboys in Outer Space, the concept was fire. I remember when I was a kid, I was messing with it, but I've been watching a whole lot of rewatch of the classic shows, and it was like, yeah, I see why. But other than that, I mean, you still had the Parkers, you still had it was a couple other shows. I don't think you mentioned. I don't think you mentioned the Good News. I don't know if you remember the Good News. Uh, yeah, the Good News was fire. I mean, it's just several other shows that it's kind of escaping my mind. It's so funny when I watch like a other podcast, I got all the answers, but when I'm on live, like the answers will escape me a little bit. But yeah, the UPN was Fire Network. Like we grew up on that. Brandy, Moesha. I can't. I'm not going to have a sensible conversation with anybody about sitcom greatness if they don't include Moesha into that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was a coming to age of a woman or of a young girl, I should say, but it included the neighborhood. It included, the her brother. It included her next door neighbor. It included everybody, and we all seen some sort of representation of our personality, of ourselves that we could see of ourselves in that show. And you forget that the show's based in California, which is also so dope about a lot of 90s sitcoms. Didn't matter where the show was at. Family Matters was in Chicago. you know, Moesha was in California, you know, so there's other shows that had different places, was set in different places, but we still seen ourselves in these characters through the through that network. So that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. But I also think that that type of network was also built to tear down once they, once they used and abused us, and you know what I'm saying. So but that's dope. That would be dope to see. Shout out to Critical Rick in the building, man. Appreciate you tapping in. As always, hit that like, hit that like, hit that like, hit the 100s in the chat, man. That would be dope. That would be dope. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Uh, one of our most favorite segments, voted by y'all, man. Our must see segment. Must see movies, must hear music, and must read books. You want to start this one off?
So period, my three movies, as y'all always know, I have a theme for my movies. My theme is Ridley Scott period pieces. I feel like Ridley Scott does really good movies based on period pieces, like in ancient times or medieval times, or we doing revolutionary times. He always finds a way to create monumental set pieces, and the outfits really make you feel like you're in those times. So one of the movies I really love that Ridley Scott has done in the period piece is called Kingdom of Heaven. Came out in 2005. Stars Orlando Bloom, Liam Neeson, Eva Green, Edward Norton, Jeremy Irons, David Thralls, Martin Kosakis, Gonson Mossad, Brendan Gleeson, Michael Sheen, and Alexander Siddig. So this period piece is during the Crusades. Very dope movie, fire. It showcases, drops some jewels of how the Crusades was run, how the wars were fought during the Crusades, who were the I guess the good guys or the bad guys, if you want to use those terms. Next movie, period piece by Ridley Scott, is called The Last Duel. Came out in 2021. Stars Jodie Connor, Adam Driver, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Serena Kennedy, Alexander Lethor, and Julian Firth. This movie is around I want to say 12th century France. It's about this knight who has to go to war and get his name up and his credibility up. You gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens. Dope movie, and it's really about people not listening to instructions. Like simple instructions you listen to, you mess that up. Last but not least, my one of my favorite movies is Napoleon. Came out in 2023. Stars Vanessa Kirby, Joaquin Phoenix, and Amon, Tahar Rahim, Rupert Everett, Janice Neuenher, Edward Philippinent, Matthew Nedham, Ben Miles, Mark Bronner, Ludwig Signer, and Isabella Bronson. Now, this movie is around the time of the French Revolution. So the outfits and the set pieces was very fast, and I think it was very on point, and definitely gotta go check it out. So my movies, my Ridley Scott period piece movies are Kingdom of Heaven, The Last Duel, and Napoleon.
Y'all go see those movies. 155 episodes. We've been giving y'all 6 movies per episode to go watch. Make sure y'all go tap in. Real quick, Critical Rick, where was hanging with Mr. Cooper located? I believe that was Oakland, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was Oakland where he was located. But even going back to my Hollywood need to ask us question, or well basically your idea as far as Hollywood need to ask us. It didn't matter where people was located. We just seen ourselves in these characters. So shout out to hanging with Mr. Cooper. That was another classic TV show. I'm not sure if they was uh, on that network that you had mentioned. Um,
NBC might maybe.
yeah,
It was definitely it was on NBC, I think.
yeah, they was on a super big network. They wasn't on a network that was like starting out, but yeah, yeah. All right, y'all. So I got my 3 must see movies. Make sure y'all tap in again each and every episode. My first must-see movie came out in 1997, directed by Quentin Peoples. It stars Tobey Maguire, Amy Hathaway, Benicio D. Tero, I probably said his name up, Adam West, and Wilson Cruz. This fire must-see movie is called Joyride. This movie's about a young kid working at a motel. He, was trying to impress a woman. He had it in his idea to take the rest of the movie and watch it. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Joyride. Next must see movie came out in 1999, directed by Craig Bolton. This movie stars Forrest Whitaker, Rosario Dawson, Usher, Federal Star, Vanessa Williams, Robert Richard, and Judd Nelson. This movie is called Light It Up. Fire movie. Like I said, this movie is about high school kids kind of get tired of their high school constantly breaking down. It's cold outside. It's even colder inside. They don't know what to do and all that cold. You know what I'm saying? They just
Pick up a book and
they couldn't even enjoy the book and read. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't find a warm spot in the school just to, get their mind together. And they watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. Make sure y'all tap in to see Light It Up.
like that movie because it made motherfuckers think that public school is mad horrible. Don't go to public school. You never gonna make it out. Had my parents thinking when I went to public school it's gonna be over. They
That's
would
like
have the precinct call home or something. Like that movie was bad. Yo, had niggas think like, yo, I don't want to go to school and be cold in school. Like, what's going on?
those are back in the days when people thought like, yo, I'm cold. Like, word, yo, you got a scarf? Like the scarf is just gonna solve all your cold problems. Like, so make
Cold away. You know what I'm saying? Throw that scarf on. You be all right. You tough, right?
y'all tap in to see that movie. It's a really, really good movie. Um My third and must final see movie came out in 1996, directed by John Paston. This movie stars Jerry O'Connell, Megan Ward, Jim Sterling, Jim Turner, Robert Vaughn, Pepper, aka Sandra Denton. She's better known as Pepper from Salt and Pepper. This movie is called Joe's Apartment. Funny movie. I grew appreciation for this movie when it first came out. I'm like, yo, what are we doing here? But now, as a grown man, I really appreciate this movie. It is so funny. It's about a man who moves from basically the Midwest, moves to New York City, thinking he moving to the bright lights in the big city, and has an apartment riddled of roaches. And you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. It's funny. So make sure y'all tap in to see Joe's Apartment, Light It Up, and Joyride. Make sure y'all tap into those. Any of those stand out to you? I grew an appreciation for Joe's Apartment because when it first came out, I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? I watched it the other day and I couldn't stop laughing. So make sure y'all tap into that. Patrick, appreciate you tapping in, man. Must see movies that are cult classics is The Warriors. That is a cult classic. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? We brought Warriors up some episodes ago, with the dudes with the different color, baseball face painted, and they chasing dudes, running down dudes with the baseball bats, and then like you couldn't outrun these dudes, like 'cause the Warriors ran from all the way from the train station all the way to Central Park was at least like a good 6 blocks, and they was on them with the bats in their hands. So that movie is top tier. I just hate the premise of the movie because it was like that's the only thing about the Warriors. The premise of the movie was kind of weak, but it's still a classic fire movie though. To shout out to Ebony Ashley with these movies. I've never heard of them. I appreciate that. Shout out to Halos. That's what we not watching. Disrespect. What is the AI going on? Yeah, appreciate you tapping in, Mr. America. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them likes. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all go tap into the movies, man. Stop playing. All right, moving on to our must hear. You must hear this music. Y'all know me. I'm on a different vibration. Whether it's R&B, whether it's hip hop, whether it's brand new, whether it's back in the day, I'm all about my vibrations. And these three songs you must put on your playlist. Thank me later. Trust me. So my must hear artist for this episode is Monica. In particular, her first album, the Miss Thing album, fire songs you gotta put on your playlist. Here are three songs you must put on your playlist from this album, all bangers. Number one, Before You Walk Out of My Life. Number two, Don't Take It Personal, Just One of Them Days. And number three, Like This and Like That featuring Mr. Malik. Fire songs. I'm telling you, y'all go play that right now. The vibration, it just is just hitting on a whole nother level. So again, put these on your playlist by the artist Monica R&B edition. Number one, Before You Walk Out of My Life. Number two, Don't Take It Personal, Just One of Those Days. And number three, Like This and Like That featuring Mr. Malik. So make sure y'all put those on your playlist. Yeah, any of that any of them songs ring a bell, bro? That's a fact. That's a fact. Patrick, it was based on a true event that the gang meeting. Now that is a fact. The reason why I say the premise was weak is not because it was a true event. The premise was weak because who they made the bad guy. You had a bad guy in the Warriors who just decided that he's just going to pop a melanated dude when he seen a melanated dude, and not just a random dude. He gonna pop the top dog out of this whole city that's getting all the delegates together. He gonna pop him, but don't have no real motive. Like he just did it to do it. He didn't do it to, uh, you know, decentralize the community. And that's the movie. I'm not talking about what happened in real life. I'm talking about the movie. The premise of the movie was weak, but it's entertaining and still a classic because what they said in the movie. They had to bop their way back to Coley Island. I don't think you understand, or not you in particular, but I don't think the chat understand how far that part of the Bronx where they was at, and to have to damn near walk half the way back to Coley Island. I don't think people understand that they're running from baseball dudes. On top of that, dudes getting bodied at the train station, tussling with cops. You know what I'm saying? Then they had the honey trap going on where the chicks were like, yeah, we're gonna give you a little shum. Come smell of those. They get to the spot, they try to poke them up, like, and they had to tussle with chicks to get up. And the chicks had a whole little tutu in her little boot, like it was a rough night. It's an entertaining movie, but the premise is kind of weak because the actor just did it to do it. So but that's my opinion on that. Got you. I agree. Shout out to Health in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. I think that's Tanya. I think she normally go by Tanya, but appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes. Hit them likes. Hit them likes. Hit them likes. All right, y'all. Moving on to must read books. You want to start this one off?
I don't got no book.
Okay, so my must read. Put this on your read list, y'all. Put this on your reading list. Uh, Anti Diet. This book is written by Christy Harrison. Fire book. Anti-diet is basically stop going on diets. Basically, it's a lifestyle. You got it. In order to change what you put into your body, you can't do short-term fixes because you're only going to gain it right back. And there's also a mentality. It's a mindset. It's a spiritual thing as well. And it takes all of that to change your lifestyle to gain better health. So again, this is a great read. Make sure again y'all tap into Anti Diet, and again it's by Christy Harrison. You got cologne for us?
Cologne for y'all. Y'all look good. Y'all feel good. Y'all smell good. Y'all do good. So this cologne this week is called Montserrat Paris, and the scent is called French Riviera. Fire fragrance right here. Definitely tap into Montserrat Paris, and fragrance is called French Riviera.
Oh, y'all go get that. Uh, Watch your mouth, sir. Watch your mouth, sir. We don't watch your mouth, sir. We'll hook you up with some exclusive tickets. Watch your mouth. Speak very respectfully on this podcast. I do not play that here. I will not let that fly on this podcast. Don't do that. All right? Be here. If you're here to support, support. If you're not, bounce. I do not play that. They asking you know the price of the cologne?
Just get samples of the price of cologne. Y'all could Google it.
Okay, so make sure y'all Google that, check that out, and get it right. Again, the whole goal is to smell good, feel good, and get good. Get the woman under the tuck. Y'all have you a good night. Have you a good time. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. Button, the hyphenated sign, snaps.com. That's button, hyphenated sign, snaps.com. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. A nice way to say that guys should have both of you guys freezing. They said we're freezing a little. Are we still? Are we still? Because once we're gone, we don't know if we're freezing or not. So, let us know, and we'll try to fix that, y'all. Okay? Because we don't want to be freezing. We want you to enjoy the pod. Okay. All right. First hot topic of the night: 11 students surrendered in an alleged hazing incident near Syracuse, New York. Uh, the police, the nearby police, law enforcement there issued a 48-hour ultimatum urging the West Hill high school students to basically turn themselves in. They did like a gun point prank style, and they took like these other kids to the woods, and you know, so that's what. But it was a lacrosse team from this West Hill high school. What do you think about that?
Ritual or something? What was going on?
So the lacrosse team did like a gun style, better come with me type of style. That's basically the details what the news gave. And they took the kids to the woods. Law enforcement gave them 48 hours to basically turn themselves in for that particular prank. So called.
It's lacrosse. I already know they got the complexion for protection as to why they getting 48 hours to then turn themselves in instead of police going to kick their door down and going to get them, because you know what school they go to. You know they're on the lacrosse team, so you already know who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna give them 48 hours to come on in and come sit down and rap a taste with y'all. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the complexion for protection. You know what I'm saying? Any other group would be like, "Now we're gonna go get them right now. We know where they at. Exactly know where they at." But I guess you know what I'm saying. It's double standards here. You feel me?
Yeah. Now that's a fact. I mean, at the end of the day, this pranking era is taking it too far. I mean, we used to have like really good, like the whole purpose of a prank is to be funny. Some of these pranks, you really putting a whole lot of stuff on the line, and it's going above and beyond, especially when it's going to hurting other people. Like I remember watching Law and Order, and I seen this prank where this guy ended up beating up somebody at a local bar. They like, yo, why he beat up somebody at the local bar? Come to find out, he was a top recruit from this other state, and he was embarrassed because the team thought he was, you know, playing, on the other team, and they pranked him where they blindfolded him. They put him into the locker room, and before they blindfolded him, it was two girls, sexy cheerleaders. They pulled down his pants, and somebody was, going down on him. And then when they pulled the blind, it was another cheerleader that happened to be a guy. So he got so freaked out that he left, and then he beat up, I guess, somebody or whatever. But that type of prank, that's not a prank. That's not funny. That's you going too far. And and the reason why I brought that up is because that type of prank goes along with this type of prank as far as gunpoint, taking somebody out to the woods, and the parents ain't seen their child, and it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, so this pranking era, I don't mind a funny prank, something that's funny, but like they going, a lot of these pranks is going too far, and I don't even see the humor in it anymore. So I just don't get it. There's another prank where you got kids calling their parents, acting like they were in jail, like that. When your life is on the line, again, when you're in jail, your life is on the line in more ways than one. And most people would automatically think you got to fight your way in and out. That's a possibility, but your life is on the line. Being like, once you get in the system, it's hard to get out of the system. To get out of the system, you have to go through things and go to multiple court dates just to get out of the system. It changes your life. You're fighting for your life. So, like, these pranks is just going way too far. What do you Yeah, so at the end of the day, I'm glad they caught the kids. They brought themselves in. They will have to pay a heavy fine, and they said this particular incident won't go on their criminal record. Uh, and lacrosse complexion for the protection. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Actress Tara Hicks admits that she was the first to receive the lead role in the movie Love and Basketball. For those of y'all don't know who Tara Hicks is, just by name, if you ever seen A Bronx Tale, if you ever seen Belly, if you ever seen what's another? She's played in several movies, but she tall chocolate woman in those movies. She played uh DMX girlfriend in Belly. She played the girlfriend of the Italian kid in A Bronx Tale, which is a classic movie. She said she had the role first as the main character in Love and Basketball, but later on they switched to Sanaa Lathan. What do you think about that?
Bringing that up, like you didn't play in the movie, so we don't care about you having the role. Then you fumbled the role. Because you know what I'm saying? You weren't on the movie. So I don't care about who had it before and then fumbled it. It doesn't matter because Sanaa Lathan did her job. Great movie. It's going down as a classic. Just like Tara Hicks, your movie, A Bronx Tale, is going down on a classic. I don't hear nobody else saying, "Oh, I went to audition for her role, but I didn't get it." You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see nobody else doing that for her on The Bronx Tale, which is a classic. Not away from you, know, you
Mhm.
cement in the hearts and minds of a lot of people with that movie. But I don't really care that you attempted to make the to get the role for Love and Hip Hop. I mean, Love and Hip Hop, Love and you didn't get it. So at the end of the day, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So now Nathan did her thing. Maybe you couldn't do the crossover moves or something. Maybe when the basketball roles or the scenes came up, it wasn't believable that you was making the layups properly. You know what I'm saying? Your 3-point shot wasn't wet like Sanaa Lathan was. That's probably why I ain't choose you. You know what I'm saying? The basketball scenes wasn't believable enough. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got the right actress to play the right role, and let's give her flowers. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about how you maybe had the role. I almost had this. Nobody care about that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no why this or why that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like she bust the internet bubble when she had made mention that in the legendary scene in Belly with her and DMX was all that jungle love that was going on in the bedroom straight out the shower after argument. She said that that wasn't her. That was a body double, and all these years people thought that was her in that scene, looking all good the way she was looking. You know what I mean? Um, but she still did an amazing job in that movie. And again, more so in A Bronx Tale, classic movie. Great point that you made. Nobody is trying to come and take her credit. So Sanaa Lathan did her job, and Sanaa Lathan helped make that movie what it is today, a classic, an unforgettable classic. The chemistry, and it could have been a chemistry thing because Omar Epps and Sanaa Lathan has this chemistry as love interests where it works and it's believable, regardless if they're playing a couple in California, a New York couple, a Midwest couple. It don't matter. It's just that the connection and the chemistry is real, and it could have came across as far as the screen. So Again, at this point in time, it's like it's kind of interesting, but I can't think of her having the role and the movie having more success. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those type of things. It's not like this is and there's no disrespect to her. This is not like um Halle Berry's saying like, "Yo, I had the role to Boys in the Hood," and be like, "Oh, the Nia Long character." Be like, "Oh, that would have been interesting because that would have made the movie better." Or you get what I'm going. There's not a real compelling thing where the movie would have been significantly better, or this really famous actor where they said that Martin Lawrence actually had the role of Pookie in New Jack City. After seeing Chris Rock play Pookie, that's how I think of Chris Rock. He's Pookie. Now, could have Martin did a good job? He probably could have, but we got what we got from Chris Rock. It's a legendary role. I'm not going to substitute Martin for Chris Rock at this point because I already seen his interpretation. So, but it's only interesting because it's Martin is the point that I'm saying. So shout out to Tara Hicks, but we could have did without that. But she's a great actress. She's still beautiful. She's still doing her thing. And but we could have been left without that. She did an amazing job in another movie called Just Cause with Lawrence Fishburne and Blair Underwood. That's a classic movie. Who else is in that movie? Sean Connery's in that movie. Fire movie. So again, like it's not going to change the trajectory of the movie if she was in it. So, all right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Anything you want to add to that? Moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, North Carolina head football coach Bill Belichick. Uh, is it a red flag because he's in a relationship with a young lady who's 49 years younger than him? Is it a red flag that during his recent interview, she wouldn't let him answer the question, "How did they meet?" Is that a red flag in their situation?
As adults in this scenario, I don't see nobody as adolescents in this equation. So everybody's adults. So they need to figure it out and be adults. I'm saying you 49, her senior, you should be putting her on game. But you know what I'm saying? That's who you chose to be with. So I mean, you reap what you sow. Is there a red flag? I mean, everybody's adults. I don't see how it could be a red flag. Everybody's adults. Everybody make the grown decisions because you are an adult. So at the end of the day, it's two adults having a relationship with each other.
I think people are making too much of the age difference in itself. Is it a big age difference? Absolutely. But one, when you on a certain level and you got paper, you have options. Whether it's a woman your age, a woman 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and in this case, 49 years younger. Bill Belichick is an older man that's been around for a while. And if he's still got enough swag and paper and style to pull him, then so be it. Is it a red flag? I wouldn't say it's necessarily a red flag for their relationship. I mean, it's their relationship.
Freezing.
They're grown. I'm trying to tell them they're free. What about now? When I'm talking now, am I freezing now? Let me know in the chat. Am I freezing now? Bro, you want to tap in, come back in real quick and see if that helped? He freezes when you talk and vice versa. So they're saying that when I talk, you freeze. When you talk, I freeze. I think that's what they're saying. And, and vice versa. So let us know if we continue to do so. Okay. But yeah, so again, I think the situation in itself, again, somewhat to what you're saying, these are two adults. They holding it down, they doing their thing. If he got enough swag to pull up, then hey, let them be how they be. I hate this narrative though. I heard a sports analyst, Rob Parker, get on Bill Belichick for having a woman this young, and it's like, dude, it's always the dudes around your age who are washed up. It's not even an age thing. It's about being washed up. It's always the washed up dudes hating on the dudes who are in a position to do better for themselves or in a position to have better or to have a younger chick or whatever. It's always the washed up dudes. Like, so people main thing when they ask this ridiculous question, what do they have to talk about? You know what they talk about? They talk about having sex. That's what they talk about. What do you talk about with a person that you're dealing with? You talk about sex. You talk about shows. You talk about normal things that it doesn't take for you to be 5 years younger or older than somebody to be able to talk to them. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm supposed to choose a woman my age, even if I don't get along with her, but just so I'll be able to talk to her. I don't want to talk. I want to smash. I want to get it popping. So for the fact that Bill Belichick can still pull it, cool. She's an adult. In the story, she's not a little kid. She's an adult. At the end of the day, if the roles was in reverse, if this was an older woman that's smashing a younger dude who's an adult, people wouldn't even think twice of this. They're adults. They would think it's creepy, but it would still say they're adults. Is it creepy for him to smash a younger woman? In my opinion, no, because it's naturally for an older man to deal with younger women. It's just natural. Not to say that it's natural for an older man to deal with a child. That's two different things. We're talking about adults. These people are adults. She's a young adult. He's an older adult. Whatever that they talk about, it has to do with things that you do in your everyday relationship. You deal with sex. You dealing with your personal interests, whether it's money, whether it's TV shows, entertainment, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's the same conversation. But what are we talking about? So it just kills me with that lazy narrative. I seen the sportscaster Rob Parker talking about like, what do they have to talk about? It's like, dude, focus on yourself. Don't be washed. If your sexual marketplace only allows you to deal with one set of women, then be cool like how you be cool and deal how you move. Don't be mad at the other dude because he's able to maneuver around the play. That's to me that's just lazy and whack. What do you think about that?
And they just need a talking point. This is not one of them because they're all adults here. You know what I'm saying?
Agree. I agree. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. I know what you did last summer. Reboots, or I don't know if it's a reboot or a remake or a part three, or they didn't specify. But I know what you did last summer is hitting the theaters. An official trailer drop. A very fire trailer, might I add. It made me want to go see it. I'm not sure if it's picking up where it left off or if it's starting all over again, but it looks amazing and it looks 10 times better than that trash ass of a show that they try to put out. They try to do a whole series of I Know What You Did Last Summer as a series. It was basically I Know What You Did Last Summer meets Saved by the Bell. And it was ass. And the killer ended up being the smallest girl that picking up 160-pound dudes, 200-pound dudes, and chasing them and body like just bonsai trash, super trash. So I'm glad I seen the new trailer and it looked fire. Did you catch the new trailer?
It looked dope. Definitely looking forward to it.
And like I said, I'm wondering what angle that they're taking from, because the original killer in my mind died. Like he got popped. Even his son died. So it's like, is this the long lost cousin? Is this the long lost brother, the younger brother? Like because remember that first movie came out what 97, 98. We in 2025. So whoever
Still can't cross the road. Your granddad couldn't cross the road. Your dumbass can't cross the road. Yeah, it makes sense that y'all family. You know what I'm saying? It runs in the family. You know what I'm saying? Gooking out on the road. You know what I'm saying? That's how the pops died the first time. Being on the road, not crossing the road, don't you know what I'm saying? Not letting yourself be known and guarantee the kids were drinking, but still, you know what I'm saying? Then you get hit, you know what I'm saying? The son come to find out, you know what I'm saying? There's a son. And then the second one, all right, so who's gonna be the killer now? It's gonna be the, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the uncle.
Right, right.
The uncle lost his son because he couldn't cross the street or something. Like, so I'm just intrigued on that part. But the fact that they brought the old Freddie, what is it, Freddie Prinze Jr. and because they were the only two that survived. Sarah Michelle Gellar's character.
And Brandy survived in the second one too.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, we good. We don't need Moesha in this one. We straight. You know what I'm saying? So they're good off that one. You know what I'm saying? But it looked good. So it looked like it's gonna be something. So we'll see what it's about.
Some of my mans in them Estes. You know what I'm saying? He was the clerk in the second, you know what I'm saying, where he was gathering everybody, you know, stuff, try to put the voodoo to protect them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Cobb, rest in peace, legendary actor in that part two of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So and you know what's interesting about that movie? That movie is so fire. The part two version, you had Jack Black, a young Jack Black. But the reason why they was able to make the trip is because the killer finessed them about not knowing the capital of Brazil, or it was something like that, or whatever. They didn't know the capital of they didn't know the capital of something, and he was like, "Yeah, you are." So he finessed them, and then Estes put him on. He was like, "Yo, the capital of such and such is not that. B is this." So like, how you out here? You won on the tickets, like somebody finessing you, baby. So this is early day '90s finesse style. You know what I'm saying? So you know what type of finesse you got to put to book 4 different tickets to, you know what I'm saying, to paradise just to murk them. That's crazy. That's top tier murderer. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. 3 women arrested after assault in Bishopville. Kayla Robinson, Carla Dalford, and Alicia James. They all beat up their friend who happened to be the person of honor of the baby shower. She was pregnant with child, and at the end of the baby shower, they jumped and beat her up, causing her to lose her baby. Mind you, they threw her the party along with her other friends, and it was a surprise party on top of that. What do you think about that?
They get charged with murder. That's what they definitely need to be charged with. All of them need to be charged with murder, first degree and second degree, because you could have killed the mother. You know what I'm saying? You killed the, which is sad, heartbreaking to go through. You killed the child. That's first degree murder or off rip, and then you might have caused some for the mother. If I were a prosecutor, I put cases on all you bitches. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, murder one, murder two. Go get them right now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. And the fact that there's none's being done is just showcases that women are always getting away with shit. And then it's like, are women even friends with each other for real? Because how you set up the baby shower to set up your homegirl? That's wild. Just like y'all set up the shorty that y'all went to Mexico with, and she ain't come back with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, women, are y'all really friends with each other? Because friends don't set up other friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the heart to, I know my man gonna get stabbed and I send him down the hallway to get stabbed. I don't have that kind of heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that kind of intuition to do that to somebody I call my friend, my brother. Like, I don't have that. But women, I don't know how y'all could do that. Set up a whole baby shower, this, that, and the third. When she comes, before y'all serve food, y'all jump her. Like, that's crazy. So I really hope that that they press charges, and they really need to go down for. I want harsh charges put on them, like definitely some murder charges. Facts. That's what I want. So I hope they do that.
Why not jump in and get it popping? Like, I'm not understanding why that people are more focused on capturing something than instead of just getting after them. Like this.
Dodge the first attack. We don't know if another attack coming on. How you gonna keep your head on the swivel if you're looking down at your phone? So all you moving wrong.
Right.
So anybody who recorded that and didn't do nothing, y'all gotta get charged too. That's a fact. Cause y'all gotta get charged with attempted murder. Cause if you didn't stop it, you part of it. Cause that's how I look at it. Why didn't you stop it? Why are you not in the video taking Timbos to the forehead protecting her? You know what I'm saying? Why are you throwing tables, ladders, and chairs protecting Shorty? You want to see that. But so if anybody, if when they do the investigation, they find other people that was there and they was recording, y'all gonna get attempted murder charges too, because everybody need to go down for that. That's crazy.
I can't even imagine being the father of that child and getting that phone call that, my woman or the mother of my child has been assaulted and we lost our child. And on top of that, this happened in the hands of her friends, people that call her friends.
Part about it is when the police do the investigation, crack the phones and go into the phones. I'm just scared to see what the group chat is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure you had a group chat set up. So that group chat is gonna be the most revealing and the most demonic chat that you ever seen in your life. Because for y'all to set that up, talk about it, geek about the shit, and plan it out, that's a whole another level of bitterness and hate that I don't think we was ever able to see in society ever to up until this point. Because you set it up. It's the part of setting it up. You know what
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm saying? Straight first flight.
First flight to the Turkey. We'll be friends. Both you guys should get phone. Look at podcast and I'll see it. So we freezing again. We freezing again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop out and come back in, y'all. I'm gonna pop out and come back in because if it's freezing, then it's not watchable, and we we're talking for nothing at this point. If it's gonna continue to freeze, so we're gonna pop out and come right back in, y'all. Pop out and come right back in. All right, all right.